Chapter 11. The crowns go from 10 to 7 on the red dragon. This is in accordance with Revelation 17:8. Because Azazel and his fallen angels Semjaza, Kokabel, Barakijal, and Amaros replace the Antichrist and beast from the earth before the bowls of wrath at the 5th and 6th trumpet, when the destroyer, or Azazel, Enoch 8-10, comes out of the abyss to kill the two witnesses who beat the Antichrist and the beast from the earth with the previous trumpets described below. That's how the jurisdictions remain, but the crown is transferred from 10 to 7. The Red Dragon is a recap of the entire story from beginning to end in Rev 12, an analogy of empires ruling over the faith. In another chapter in Daniel, 5 empires are described: Babylon, Persia, Greece, Rome, and the Gnostic one. The 3 ribs in the mouth of the bear hold the other 2 empires. Egypt, Assyria, and Babylon are the 3 ribs in the bear's mouth in the book of Daniel. The bear is also leaning to one side, favoring the Persian Empire over the Medes, who wound up absorbing the Median Empire. These 5 empires, with Egypt and Assyria, make the 7-headed beast from the sea and red dragon. Daniel's vision of the statue doesn't mention the previous empires, because Babylon had conquered and mastered these powers and ruled as the head of those empires. His vision shows how the future empires were less than Babylon's, because it was the same thing but watered down and hidden as an ethos of wisdom, weaved into the garments of culture worn by each of the future empires, part of their kingdom, in one way or another. Mystery Babylon. The Antichrist is considered less than him because the Antichrist and his kingdom are taken out relatively quickly by the 2 witnesses. The 8th head is what emerges from the abyss to rule the 7 heads. Before Nebuchadnezzar, or Babel the beast, was, then is not, and yet will be, as in Revelation 17:8 and 10 described. This is the empire of Tubal-Cain in the time of Jared, the city of Enoch-Cain, founded east of Eden in the land of Nod in the Atlantean days before the flood, when everyone lived as long as Noah. When the fallen angels taught mankind civilization, basically in Enoch 8-10, Jude speaks of them, and Paul in 1 Corinthians talks about women wearing veils from the angels. 2 Peter 4 talks about this story, which proves the New Testament viewed Genesis 6 as physical angels, as well as Revelation 9. Azazel, Semjaza, Amaros, Barakijal, and Kokabel/Tamiel taught them astrology, astronomy, black and white magic, or poisons and medicine, and the destroyer Abaddon taught mining and weapons and makeup, etc. They are mentioned in Revelation 17 as the 8th king/head of the 7-headed beast from the earth. The beast, which you saw, once was, now is not, and yet will come up out of the abyss and go to its destruction. The inhabitants of the earth, whose names have not been written in the book of life from the creation of the world, will be astonished when they see the beast, because it once was, now is not, and yet will come. The crowns go from 10 to 7 when Azazel rises out of the pit. As Raphael opens the lock, he was sent in Enoch 10 to close. And Revelation 17 is how the 7 kings become part of the 8th king that was, and is not, but will be, Rev 17. Rev 16 has the dragon beast and false prophet all at once, so they are all combined at that time. The dragon, who is the devil, inspiring the structure of the beast from the empires of the past that persecuted Israel and Christianity, is led, after Apollyon arises, by the fallen angels. Because before they were locked by Raphael in Enoch 10, they were then, were not, and yet will be when they are released at the 5th and 6th trumpet, after the 2 witnesses finish their testimony of the trumpets. See Revelation 11 and the first 2 trumpets of Rev 8 to understand the connection and the synchronization between the 2 witnesses and the trumpets. There is synchronization with the seals and the rise of the beast before, and there is synchronization with the fallen angels and the bowls of wrath after the 2 witnesses are killed, and the Revelation 15 scene plays out as the beginning of the bowls of wrath. The 10 horns are the beast from the sea, or Antichrist kingdom, ruling all regions. Now the entire world colonized the states of the Antichrists, fed with the royal fallen angels' kingdom after they come up from the abyss. There are 2 horns on the beast from the earth. They are all part of the same empire. When the 8th head of Revelation 17:8 and 11 arises at the 5th and 6th trumpet from Enoch 8, Azazel with Semjaza, Amaros, Barakijal, and Kokabel headed by Azazel. They kill the 2 witnesses and replace the beast from the sea and the earth, and the 10 crowns of the beast change from 10 to 7 crowns, like the red dragon of Revelation 12. The Antichrist and the beast of the earth are replaced by 1 crown on Azazel and his kingdom that took over as a royalty over the Fed Maitreya kingdom with the apostatized church system that ruled the world through states organized with triaged populations around the world to the cultures of the 7 heads: Assyria, Egypt, Babylon, Persia, Greece, Rome, and the future synchronized one as the capital in Jerusalem. In Revelation 12, the red dragon has 7 crowns ruling the 10 horns or jurisdictions, based off the 10 regions of Rome, that spread to colonize the entire world: Portugal, France, England, etc. Each of the 7 heads comes in succession: the past empires Egypt, Assyria, Babylon, Persia, Greece, and Rome, and the future Nicolaitans occult kingdom, and then the 8th Azazel from Genesis 6/Enoch 8, and Revelation 17:8 and 11 take over the 7 heads. The red dragon has 7 crowns, the beast from the sea has 10 crowns. The reason the red dragon has only 7 crowns is because Azazel is the leader that takes over the beast from the sea and earth. Azazel, the destroyer or Abaddon or Apollyon, and the others were the first kingdom to rule back in Genesis 6 before the flood. The 2 witnesses prevail against the 7th head's beast from the sea and earth until the fallen angels are released out of the abyss, and they are killed in Revelation 11. After they rise at the 7th trumpet, or right before in that chapter, the rapture or gathering happens as Revelation 15. The bowls of wrath are poured out on the fallen angels and the beast from the sea and earth, who submit to the 8th head and give up their crowns to Azazel and his kingdom.